Tesla 2026 Long Range Rear-Wheel Drive with FSD. I'm currently in Toowoomba. We're going to go for a bit of a drive. It's not quite peak hour, but it's 6:30, sort of going on dusk here at the moment. Yeah, just want to create a little bit of content around FSD. Have had this car for 3 or 4 days. It's got 732 kilometers on the odometer at the moment. Really enjoying the car. Being the long range wheel drive, it's exceptionally efficient and fun to drive. It's the new battery pack and new motor in the rear. 0 to 100 in 5.2 for those who care about that sort of stuff. But yeah, being an excellent car. Have had some learning curves with the FSD, but ultimately it's been a great start to the experience. Not too many safety sort of interventions with FSD, and it has driven me from Toowoomba to the Brisbane airport without too much hassle, and I'll be doing that again this weekend. So, but for now, I'm just going to let it do its thing and take me up. We're going to head up to the Picnic Point Lookout, and then I'll add another destination in that might trial it out. Hopefully then it'll be dark. I do want to try out an intersection where it ran a red light. FSD ran a red light the other night, so I just want to see if I can replicate that to show you all. Other than that, sit back and enjoy. See ya. I am still learning all of the camera equipment and microphones, so if the sound quality is poor, the video is poor, then I do apologise, but we've all got to start somewhere. So I have found FSD pretty forgiving in the nannying or prompting you to, look up. It is a little bit sensitive around the screen. If you're looking at it for a period of time, it will, or if you touch a device, which is obviously illegal, but it will prompt you quite quickly. But without sunglasses on, as long as you're sort of looking ahead and looking around, it seems pretty happy, as long as you're not looking at the screen for an extended period of time, which is quite hard because that's where everything is in the Tesla. This is my first EV, so it's a little bit abstract in ways, but I guess I was a little bit daunted when I first started driving this car, but after a few days, it's like a comfy old pair of socks. It's a lot like an iPhone in terms of its intuition and user friendliness. I have found the whole experience quite seamless. Do have the blinker stalk back in this model, which was a key factor for me. Getting in and out of the car, I just found when we test drove the Model 3 without the blinker stalk, and I'm sure people have had their own opinions on it, but I do enjoy having the blinker stalk back. We'll probably get to see, as it goes darker, the adaptive headlights. They are take a little bit of getting used to. Relinquishing that control to the car of being able to do the back and forth headlights. There's a little bit of a challenge to start with. Particularly what I've noticed is that it blinks, it picks up the signs, or picks up lights, and then it sort of goes, oh, I think that's a car, so it dims the lights, and then it goes, no, it wasn't a car, and then it puts the lights back on there, and then it does that repeatedly for a while. So it has this strobe light effect of turning on and off, which can be a little bit annoying, especially when you're on rural roads. I haven't done a lot of night driving in this car yet, but hopefully we'll get to demonstrate that. But as you can see, FSD is pretty good at the basic stuff. There are a few instances where it tricks up, and I think that's mostly associated with the machine can't read signs at this point. I'm looking forward to getting version 14, which is in America and Canada at the moment, but we don't quite have it here yet. In the left-hand lane driving scenarios. We're just coming up to the James Street and Kitchener Street. Just put the map on. I might just put the satellite imagery on because it looks better. Oh, sorry, it's Mackenzie Street. When not using FSD, I do find the little prompt for the green light indicator quite good. Not because you're sort of not paying attention, but sometimes, you know, it's just a nice little gentle ding. I do have, I think it's called Joe mode turned on, which is in the settings, and I believe it turns down all of the clicks, so it's not all the clicks and the bings and the bongs aren't as loud as they are without Joe mode on. So I did turn that on, and yeah, it is quite nice. Being my first EV, the main thing you do notice is how quiet the car is. There's very little vibration and noise, and I've found that quite good. You can sort of cruise along with an audio book or SBS Chill or something relaxing on while the car's driving you along, and it is quite fun. So it's quite good. Oh, I've got a dickhead on a motorbike, and he'll be a statistic one day. Good luck to him. So we're heading up to, I'm not sure what this street's called, whether it's Tourist Road or Long Street. Actually, it's Long Street. So we're heading up Long Street heading east towards Picnic Point. For those who aren't from Toowoomba, Picnic Point is at the top of the Great Dividing Range. It's not the highest point of the Great Dividing Range, but it is a pretty spectacular lookout. There's a nice cafe. When the Carnival of Flowers on, there's lots of flowers, and it's a really nice park to take the kids to, and just generally have a relaxing time, cup of coffee or breakfast or something, overlooking the gum trees and the Lockyer Valley. I have found it pretty good at the roundabouts. There is a little bit of hesitation in it, and you can tend to feel it, but most of the time it is indicating going off the roundabout, which I like. Just going to give it a little tap because the guy behind me is a little bit too close for my liking. Let's see if I can see him on the camera, but yeah. Looks like a Ford Mustang, but I can't be sure. Oh no, it's a Nissan 350Z, so that tells you all you need to know about this guy. B370Z. Yeah, so this is Picnic Point. Just going on 6:44, so it's starting to get a little bit dark. Detection of speed bumps has been quite good. Most of the time it is doing exactly what I think I would do. But every now and then the speed bumps that aren't sort of painted or aren't obvious, it does hit them a little bit fast at times. But, you know, it's sort of one of those backseat driving sort of scenarios. It's probably not going to take us all the way down to the lookout, because something I didn't think of is that the lookout gate does get locked at night, which is a little bit of a shame, because it is a pretty great view down there. If it is open, we'll take you down for a look. It is going to try and park, but I'm just going to take over and go for a quick look down to the bottom of the hill. I'll put FSD back on and see what it does without guidance down here, because it is a loop road. So I'll just whack it back on for you. I do have some cars behind me. As you can see by all the cars, it is a busy road, a busy little lookout down here. But I will try and pull up somewhere and give you a look at the view. Just sort of feel a little bit of hesitation there. I have found the car extremely efficient, although it is not doing that well at the moment with since I just charged it at home a little bit. But that's mainly because it's been sitting with the aircon on while I've been setting some equipment up and generally stuffing around. But typically it is doing the WLTP, sort of that microwave sticker, fridge sticker rating. It really is a wonderful view out here, overlooking Tabletop Mountain. Looking towards Brisbane here. It's not the clearest day. We've got a little bit of smoke around, so there must be a few fires about. But it is a really lovely spot. You can see how quickly it's getting dark here. A little bit of that might be to do with the tint that I got put on yesterday at Tinted Car here in Toowoomba. Really good service. If you're looking to get your car tinted, definitely go give those guys a call. They were very quick, very professional, and yeah, I'm really happy with the result. Got the tint and all of the windows tinted, dark as I could go, with ceramic tint, and also ceramic paint protection on the outside and the inside. I'm just giving it a little bit of encouragement down here because it is a little bit unsure. There are sort of little bumps, and I've got a car behind me, so I know a lot of other channels, sort of the people in the comments talk about, you know, just let the car do its thing, but I'm sort of hoping I'm unsure as to whether the car actually learns from you prompting it or encouraging it. I believe it does, because that's been my experience, is if you give it a little bit of encouragement, it seems to be a little bit quicker every time to get up to speed, or just to be a little bit more assertive with your driving. So got a speed bump here. That was pretty good. So we're going to go towards the North Point Shopping Centre, which is in North Toowoomba, mainly just because it's a nice easy spot to navigate to. And then we're going to go down the Jellicoe Street towards the Five Ways intersection, where it's a little bit of a complex intersection across a railway line with some boom gates and things. And the car tried to shove me through a red light there. So I just want to see if we can recreate that, because it is, if that's the case, I'm not sure what it's trying to do here, but it's a little bit unsure about where it should be, which is a little bit funny. But the car behind me is following as if they're lost too, so I'll just show you that on the screen. But there's a Tesla in front of me, Model Y, obviously not using FSD because they're in the center of the lane. But anyone complaining about FSD driving slow hasn't seen some of the people in the famous Toowoomba drivers. Oh, we're going stop. Oop. Not giving us a good rap in Tesla parking there. Maybe should have left it to FSD. So heading back west along Tourist Drive, we'll likely go all the way down Long Street. I'm not sure whether you can see on the screen here, but we'll go down Long Street towards, basically back the same way we came. So we're heading towards Kitchener Street, and then we'll be heading towards Ruthven Street. Just show you, not sure whether you can see, but I'll put the consumption on. Again, these spikes here in this are going up and down the Toowoomba range, so it does spike quite high going up and down the range. Not too bad, and the rest of these are, some of these higher ones are just me fanging it around, giving it the berries around town. But I have found this car a really nice balance. I like the rear wheel drive performance of it. I don't think it would handle being much faster or much more power from the rear wheels. For those of us that are Aussie car enthusiasts, this sort of car with 5.2, I think, 0 to 100 is equivalent to sort of an FG XR6 Turbo or an F6 Typhoon style car, but that's sort of what people are talking about. Now I understand people will talk about, oh well, the all-wheel drive does it in this fast, but the reality is I didn't need an all-wheel drive. I didn't like the feel of the dynamics of the all-wheel drive, and you know, if you're going to buy an all-wheel drive, why not buy a performance? So the rationale, and then if you're going to buy a performance, why not buy a plaid? So it's sort of that dynamic, but this was the right car for me. I really like it. I do a lot of rural driving, and this, I believe, is the first car that you can really road trip without any fuss, where charging is not. I know the long range was around 620 kilometers WLTP, but I didn't have any experience with how far it actually got on the highway. But this car seems to be more efficient on the highway, or as efficient as it is in town. So let me know if that's the case with all of them, because I don't really know. But to put that into perspective, from Toowoomba here, I'm from Charleville, and this car would easily do the 600 kilometers out to Charleville without stopping for charge. So it would also planning to go to Cairns for Christmas, and I'm going to test it out, but I want to be able to get from here to Rockhampton and stay the night at a motel with a destination charger, and charge overnight, and then keep going onto probably Townsville or Cairns with just 1 or 2 charges. So that's the reality of this car, is that you could do 6 hours of driving in a day, which is probably more than most people would do, but it would be able to do that and charge overnight pretty comfortably. Or if you're leaving home with the maximum amount of free energy from the sun that you can, if you've got solar panels, when you are traveling in rural areas, the big, because a lot of people talk about, oh, well, you don't need that much range, you don't need this, but the reality is, in Australia, when you are traveling in rural areas, the charging capacity of the chargers is usually between 50 and 150 kilowatts. The 150 kilowatts are a rarity, and they are notoriously unreliable. So relying on that charging network 200-300 kilometers apart can be fraught with uncertainty, whereas this car, you could quite happily plug in and have some lunch, and the car's ready before you are, and that's what I've really liked. Got one of the older Tesla Model 3s at work, and I didn't enjoy driving it. It had the stalks on the side. I think it was a 2022 model, but it was just rougher, louder, and this feels like a more refined car, and it's definitely smoother than the Tesla at work and more efficient. Yeah, so in the last 150 kilometres, and as you can see, this is sort of pretty representative driving around town, sort of giving it a squirt here and there. Is pretty exceptional economy, really. In my experience, I've typically hired Polestars, so Polestar 2, when I'm travelling as a hire car, and they're, even the rear-wheel drive long range, you're usually around that 15 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and they just don't seem to be able to match the thing, because I was considering a Polestar 2, but after doing my research, I convinced myself, and watching many videos, hundreds of hours of Tesla videos, decided to buy a Tesla. And the main reason for that is the lack of servicing costs, the efficiency, and also the customer experience. I know there's probably a few exceptions to the rule, but I really like the over-the-air updates. I like the full seamlessness of the Tesla ecosystem. It's really good. Even the app is all very well integrated, and the driver or the owner is forefront of the thought process, it seems, because anyone who's done any IT projects knows how easy they are to get wrong. So, but it seems Tesla does listen to their customers on occasion, and the minimalist design is really good. And I think I heard a comment saying, if you don't have to put something back, then you're not cutting enough from the car. So the blinker still looks back. But this whole time driving around, it's just a different experience for those who haven't experienced FSD. I took my dad and my brother for a drive yesterday, which was really fun. My dad is an old school ice addict, and I mean that in the humorous sense, not the literal sense. But getting him to drive around Highfields and experience FSD was pretty interesting. He did have a few giggles and laughs, which was fun. And my brother didn't even know that Tesla did this stuff, my younger brother, so it's really fun. Just going past Bunnings here on Ruthven Street, Still open by the looks. Second home, Bunnings. Just going to end trip and get it to take us up to navigate to Clifford Gardens Shopping Centre. FSD really doesn't like rerouting. It doesn't do it that well. I find the Tesla navigation a little bit clicky. It takes you up some really weird routes at times. It might be just Toowoomba's a little bit more hillbilly than the rest of the places, but it is difficult. I would prefer some form of integration where, like just examples like today, on the way out home, the road was closed. Tesla was trying to drive around. I should have filmed it, but was trying to drive through the road closed sign, which was interesting. But just road closure signs and things, it just in these rural areas, you don't seem to be able to report anything on it, I don't think. So having that sort of Waze style functionality would be cool. Oh, after all that, we've got a car in front. We've got a car in front of us, yelling at me. So this is the intersection that it just drove straight over the road. It tried to go straight over the railway line. Obviously, I stopped it. But it is one of the more complex intersections in Toowoomba. It still is only a 4-way, although it's called the 5 ways pub. I was checking to see if FSD was on then. It's not always clear without the blue line. Just going to put the map back on. So you can see it's quite a big intersection. Just driving past Fenny Street, famous Toowoomba street. Used to get the guys quite excited on the school bus when we were going to school here many years ago. Overall, it is very relaxing to be in FSD. You've got to be aware that I do find your brain CPU capacity or RAM capacity in your brain is freed up by FSD. It is looking in all directions at the same time, and I have experienced it pulling over to let motorbikes past and things. So my experience is that it is quite courteous and could be better. But the things that really stuff it up, it's really a point-to-point navigation sort of tool at this stage. It's not good enough. The navigation is not good enough, especially here in Toowoomba, to navigate parking. I'm sure that'll be something that gets updated, maybe with version 14. It just gets a little bit better, but for just basic daily driving, this car and FSD has been excellent. The other day, on Saturday, the day after picked the car up, went to straight away down and got the FSD, and so went to Brisbane Airport from Toowoomba and back, and it was very good. Normally it's quite, you feel a little bit brain fogged when you get home from that drive. and I was really surprised at how refreshed or relaxed I was that I didn't really think about it. Is it gonna go? Yeah, it's going. So we're just heading south down West Street at the moment. It is going to take us through a bit of a pain in the bum. It's 1, 2, 3, 4. It's a 5-way roundabout. It's 2 lanes on the north-south, and then but it's five entries and exits on the roundabout. It's not the worst roundabout in Toowoomba, but it is a very busy roundabout, but it seems to be okay. Toowoomba is a city of roundabouts, and a city of people who sometimes struggle to understand etiquette of roundabouts. Gotta love Toowoomba. So we've got our blinker on turning right. We're going to turn right onto Anzac Avenue. Just keep paying attention because cars do rip through here quite quickly. That was perfect. Can't complain about that. Just going to end trip. What I might do is I might take it out to Westbrook, just to see what it's like on a little bit of higher speeds. We'll see if we can demonstrate the clickiness with the lights. So I'll just do it. I really love the Talk To things. It seems very accurate most of the time, even though the text gets it wrong. It seems to work it out eventually. So I'm just going to navigate to 711 Westbrook. It's going to do its thing. We're just coming up to the Hersley Road, Anzac Avenue roundabout. Now this is a disastrous roundabout. There's a crash here every other day, I swear. It's a terrible blind corner there. For those people in Toowoomba, there is a free charger available at Clifford Gardens. I think it's a 22 kilowatt charger, so a Tesla, I think, can maximum get, what's it doing there? It's cutting the edge there, but that's probably something I would have done anyway. There's plenty of green left in that yellow light. But yeah, sorry, to finish what I was saying, there's a free charger in front of the NAB bank. We've got some fire trucks or some ambulances. Ambulance. Free charge, third time lucky. Free charger in front of the NAB bank there. So I'm not sure there's a time limit on it. I don't think you need an RFID card or anything. I think it's just free for customers to park there and go do some shopping. So it is a reasonable little spot. I haven't charged the car there, obviously. I have used, as you would have seen in my pretty ordinary first video, but the Coles at Glenvale has a 22 kilowatt ChargeFox charger, but it doesn't come up on the app. but you need a physical ChargeFox card, so an RFID card from ChargeFox, and your Type 2 cable, and you can just sort of park there and charge. It is a little bit slow. I wasn't getting anywhere near the recommended speeds there, so I'm not sure whether it's been downgraded or there's an issue with it, but I think I was getting around 5 kilowatt hours, which is not too bad. Like, if it's not costing you anything, but it's probably not worth it at that point, unless you're going to leave your car there overnight, which I wouldn't recommend in Glendale or Toowoomba in general. So just heading past the cemetery on Anzac Avenue. So we'll head out past Bunnings. So in terms of previous cars, currently got a BMW, a 2018 BMW 320D, and up until this car, it was the cheapest car to run. It is a diesel, still got it. It is exceptionally efficient and a lovely car to drive. Anyone who's worried about depreciation on a Tesla, it's comparable with a BMW. So, and you don't have, yet to find out, hopefully you don't have as many servicing costs as the BMW does. Excellent, efficient car, but you get about 4.5 to 5.5 litres, and better than that on the highway. But it's nothing to do 1,000 to 1,200 kilometres on a tank of fuel, on a 50, 60 litre tank of fuel. So it is an exceptional car. It's fun to drive. Might do a drive in it and compare. It might be interesting to compare it, given that it is such an. It probably costs about $6 to $7 per 100 kilometres to run, whereas this car, even if you're paying for it, is around that. If you're paying top dollar for charging, fast charging all the time, this car would likely be comparable to the BMW 320D with its little 2-litre diesel motor in it. We are doing 50 in a 60 zone. At Annoy, it's heard me talking about it. It's sped up a little bit, but no one's flashing their lights or carrying on at the moment. It is still just 60 here. The police are always sitting on this hill. Not that I drive it much anymore, but it is a fave for the motorbike cops in Toowoomba. That blue light that's flashing is the other camera, so I do apologise. It is getting dark, and the video quality is probably going to be really poor. So this session may not even make it in if the video. So you can see now. You may not be able to see it, but what's happening there is you've got the left-hand side sort of high beam on, and it dims the lights where the other cars are. It is very clever. but it is also somewhat a little bit annoying to get used to. I'm sure it'll improve over time. Maybe with sign recognition, it might get that update. So as you can see out the left hand side, it's sort of still got its high beam on. Oh no, it's turned it off now. Making a liar of me. Sort of slowing down here. That was pretty good. Not that you'd expect it to do that poorly. So we're on the Gore Highway. This is the Gundawindi Road, going out through the Mill Mountain Road. The lights are quite good on high beam when it's not dimming itself because it thinks there's a car coming. So it's really doing the flashing thing at the moment. But it may have the lights dimmed down. Well, this about pulls it up for my first real FSD video. My first attempt was a pretty poor one. The camera angles are pretty poor. So got some different angles, and hopefully enjoy it. I'll keep trying to improve as we go forward. If there's anything you want to sort of see the car do, Toowoomba's got a lot of little windy tracks and roads. I have been thinking about doing a Christmas light special where we drive around and use FSD to look at the Christmas lights. So there are some exceptional Christmas lights in Toowoomba. People take their Christmas lights very seriously here. But other than that, thanks for watching, and catch you on the next one.